Attention to all audience. Before we start the session, I would like to convey some disclaimers or the rules in this online meeting. The audience need to mute the mic during all sections, except for question and answering section. We will start the session at 10 a.m. in recording mode. Thanks for your kind cooperation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much to Mr. Tan Shani as our moderate MC for today's session. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Mr. Tan Guan and also Mr. Fong for your kind cooperation and willing to have this knowledge sharing session. And without the willingness from both of you lah, this session will be successful. Thanks once again to Sonicon Berhad and Great Wall Civil Engineering Company. For your information to all participants today, Mr. Tan Guan this is the, if I'm not mistaken, third appearance Mr. Tan Guan with us at UTHM. So we are feeling great, Mr. Tan, having you in this event.
Yes, third time already.
Yeah, third time, if I'm not mistaken. But in this iCIW Construction Industry Week for the second time, two times, sorry. Right. And without further ado, I would like to call upon Mr. Tan Guan for giving and sharing his industry knowledge to all. Mr. Tan, please be welcome. Open the mic.
Yep. Sorry. Okay. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Okay. So, if you have any questions, leave it at the chat room below. So we try our best because we have 1 hour session now. Okay. So let me share the screen. Okay. Mainly. Okay, this week we have International Construction Week, and my topic today will be the controlled demolition technologies. All right. Okay, just a very quick introduction on who is Sonicon. So basically, Sonicon is actually doing concrete cutting, controlled demolition, robotic demolition. Basically, if I were to categorize in 2 words, is basically controlled demolition. Okay, so this is our company. We received an award 2 years ago, E50 by Deloitte and SME Corp. And these are some of the events that we were invited previously to Google in Singapore, to KL Go Digital, and many more events. These are some of the projects that we have participated before in IPC, in Coca-Cola, Nestle, Perodua, UMW, Highcom, Honda. Even we went to Indonesia, April Group, to do some work over there during their factory upgrade. Okay. Okay, now let's come to the most important question, in the topic. Why do we need to demolish in the first place? Takkan suka-suka just robokan saja, betul tak? Okay. So why demolish in the first place? Picasso say this thing. Every act of creation is first an act of destruction. So basically, we want to say this, to construct something, a lot of times you need to destruct something first, then only you can start building something. So usually when it comes to demolition, there are 3 purposes. First, for refurbishment purposes or renovation. Second, to upgrade. And then third, something goes really wrong. So you need to rectify. Okay. Usually it won't run away from these 3 main reasons. So in general, demolition is divided to 2 main sections. One is total demolition. One is controlled demolition. So I will not be talking much about total demolition today, as I believe Mr. Low will be taking over from there. I will be speaking more towards the controlled demolition. Or if I were to put in total demolition, you robokan semua benda. Controlled demolition, you remove partial of the building. okay, to do certain changes of upgrading or rectify things that has gone wrong. That's why I mentioned the three main reasons there. So today my approach a bit different. I'm going to share more about some of the cases or some of the jobs that we have done to help you understand when all this demolition comes in, and also when what kind of technology to use in different kind of situation. So this is one example of total demolition. We use big equipments, big excavators, high reach excavators, and we demolish the whole area. So this is actually one of the jobs that we did within the factory for power plant construction. Okay, now I'm going to talk about controlled demolition, and I'm going to start out with non-vibration controlled demolition method. Okay, let's talk about one of the first case study one. This is IPC shopping mall. IPC shopping mall is basically IKEA. Okay, IKEA in Damansara in KL. Beside IKEA, there's a shopping mall called IPC. So IKEA and IPC is actually under the same group. So in 2017, they wanted to upgrade the shopping mall. So, but shopping mall masih perlu other business mah. So they cannot close the whole shopping mall just to cater for the renovation. So what they do, they have to shut down a portion, and then the other tenants are running on 2 levels. So which means our demolition method has to be quiet enough so that their business will be less disrupted. Saya tak mau cakap totally won't be disrupted because it's impossible. It's still going to be some noise, but I would say less disrupted. So when it comes to, this is a live shopping mall. Maksud, the shopping mall is still going on. 2 levels on top is working, 2 levels below is not working. So what is the main concerns? Speed, how fast we're going to complete the project, the noise, the vibration, the cleanliness, the safety standards, and also the maintenance of the existing structure and also fit outs. Okay. So I talked about one of the, actually we did quite a lot of things in Ikano. I'm just going to pick one of them to help you understand. Okay, now they want to change the internal structure of the whole building. They want to install an escalator on the few levels. So which means the previous escalator they will take out and then they will install on new areas. So let's say they want to install new escalators. They want to install at this particular area. Means I need to remove this slab. Okay, I need to remove this slab. So I want you to remember these 2 columns first, okay, so that we have a reference later. Okay, so when we start doing the cutting, only we realize this is a 600 mm thick concrete, okay, which is 2 feet thick. See, most of the time when you I believe in your studies, when you talk about slab and all that, we are looking at maybe a normal slab. You're talking about 150 mm thick to 200 mm thick, 2 layers of reinforcement. But this one, the one that we are cutting is a 600 mm thick, which means 3 times to 4 times more than the usual standards. Okay, this is a precast panel. Okay, again, this is a shopping mall. We are not allowed to hack. We are not allowed to make so much noise. So what do? We use diamond wire cutting technology. Okay, so you can see this whole thing is during the process of cutting. When we cut, we basically cut to 1 piece by 1 piece, like cutting tofu down. 1 piece, okay, 4 segi, keluarkan. Cut 1 piece, 4 segi, keluarkan. So it keeps cutting and taking out 1 piece by 1 piece. So this actually makes the whole thing more efficient because I don't need to handle so much debris. Internal is difficult for me to move in any bobcat or using labor to remove the debris. And I can move all these things piece by piece going out. Okay, this is how the hydraulic wire saw looks like. You look at this wire. Okay, this wire, we call this diamond wire. Okay, diamond wire, which in other words, all these things that we use, sometimes you hear or use diamond cutting tools to cut concrete. Okay, why use diamond? Because diamond is the hardest material in the world. if you goes by the most scale, this is grade 10. Concrete is around 3 to 7. Asphalt is around 3 or 2. So diamond is much harder. So you want to cut concrete, you want to cut rebar, not a big issue. Okay, so we're going to use diamond to do the cutting. So imagine basically circling around the concrete and do the cutting. Let me show you a short video regarding this. Yep.
Meaning that, Mr. Tan, diamond cutting is the silent one.
Yeah,
The
this
more
actually,
silent one.
correct. Actually, in terms of noise decibel level, I think this is less than 90 decibel.
Oh.
Less than 90 decibel. Okay, just to have an idea, we talking is around 70 decibel, 60 to 70 decibel. You know, cutting tree using the chainsaw, you tarik, then macam tu kan. The one we are looking at around 100 decibel, 90 to 100 decibel. So you have an idea what kind of noise range that we are looking at. So among so many cutting methods, diamond wire is actually the paling lembut punya suara.
Okay, alright.
So you can see this is the tofu that we take out lah. One piece, all take out one by one, and then we ship out, move to here, ready to be cleared away. All right. So you remember the 2 columns that I talked about? This is the 2 columns, and then the whole area here, you know, we cut and then we remove piece by piece. Okay. So
Wow.
the above level the above level also done by us. Basically it's also for the same purpose. They're going to build what do you call that, escalator. They're going to build escalator after that. So why diamond wire saw? Because first, the concrete is very thick, we have very low noise level, less than 90 decibel. In fact, when we were doing the work, it was during daytime, it was not during nighttime. Shopping mall work, usually most of the time we do at nighttime, but because of the schedule, we do at daytime, and it has less disruption to the existing operation. Okay, it's non-vibration. Itu you tak rasa the whole shopping mall is gegar tau. You tak akan rasa benda itu pasal cutting mah. And then concrete easily discarded, as what we have mentioned. All right, so this is on the first case of shopping mall. So this is before, this is after. You can see the difference. Okay, now we move to case 2, industrial factory upgrade. We do a lot of this type of job when it comes to factory. Just now we talk about shopping mall, commercial. Now we talk about industrial factory. Factory, what do they want to do? Okay, they want to install new machine, new equipment, but they realize the slab previously when they designed, it was not designed to install new machine. Pasal machine load too heavy. Okay, terlalu berat. So if they're going to install the new machine without upgrading the structure or the foundation, the whole slab is going to crack in the future. So we have to remove the slab, but they have another concern because production, their other production line is still running. This is actually airplane parts manufacturing factory in Penang. Their production line is still running. So we cannot allow to have so much vibration so that, you know, the production line have, if you imagine, if we hack away the slab and then the whole place is shaking, gegar, their production line with their calibration gun, all will run away. So vibration is their biggest concern. That's number 1. Of course, we talk about cleanliness, we talk about speed, safety, and maintenance. Okay, let me show you how the cutting looks like. Okay, this is a floor saw machine. Okay, floor cutting machine, around 1 ton weight. And this here, you can see here, this is the diamond blade. Show you the video. So actually you can see that it's actually the same concept as just now. We are going to cut piece by piece, and then we're going to lift up piece by piece as well. So I recall for this slab, we are cutting at 400 mm depth. So you can see that actually when using diamond cutting with the right equipment, the effort can be quite effortless lah. Okay, now I want you to notice something. Okay, once we do the cut, okay, I want you to notice, you can see that the slab starts sinking down. Nampak tak? Okay, the slab starts sinking down because it's already putus. Okay, then they sink down to the soil and then sit on it. So after we cut all these things, then we use this forklift, angkat batu keluar, angkat batu keluar, angkat batu keluar. Okay, so this is diamond floor saw. So when we were doing this job, the owner of the factory was practically standing right beside our cutting area. He wants to feel what kind of vibration do we have when we were doing this job. So of course, needless to say, we finished the whole job. The vibration is minimal or even close to zero. There was no vibration. It doesn't affect their factory. It doesn't affect their production line. Okay. Now, this is the infrastructure work. Just now we go from commercial, we go from factory. Now we go to and both of the work previously that we mentioned was more of an upgrading job. You remember the 3 reasons that we talked about? One is refurbishment, one is rectification, and then the third one, one is refurbishment, one is upgrading, and third one is rectification. Malu lah. Okay, so now we talk about rectification. Rectification means what? Means something screw up. Okay, something goes wrong. Sudah buat salah, no choice. They have to rectify. They need to repair the issue. Okay, this one is in fact, I feel that this may be our most challenging job. Over my years of experience in the line lah. Okay, you look at this thing. Okay, this is the support for a highway that is going to build. Okay, you look at the top here. Ada nampak dia macam sudah sengit lah. Okay, this whole porter beam serve as a very, very important structure for the highway. So this kind of standard definitely failed. I believe when they were doing the casting, the calculation for the propping was not done accurately. So that's why this kind of sinking happens. So no choice. This thing you tak boleh just tarik and then let it be straight. It has to be removed and then redo again. So this is from the top view. You can see this thing starts sinking down. Boleh nampak doktor?
Boleh.
Oh, yeah. It actually sinks down already. Okay. So this we use the same method again. We use diamond wire. The first is the same method as what we showed as the first one. When we were cutting this, the width is 2.5. The height is also 2.5. In other words, we are cutting a 2.5 meter depth, even taller than all of us here. So the good thing about using diamond wire is that we are not limited to any kind of thickness. Thickness, correct, the size. So we can practically cut as big as possible. But when it comes to cutting or removing, one of the biggest concern that we have is how are we going to throw away the concrete? A lot of times, the cutting part is the easy part. To buang itu batu, that is the challenging part. Okay, so here, we use cranes of 500 ton, 2 cranes of 500 ton to carry. One piece of this is 200 ton. Okay, 200 ton of concrete. The whole portal beam that we removed was 800 ton. Okay, you see, after we bring down, you can see all our operators standing right in front. You can see that the portal beam is very tall, 2.5 meter is very big. Let me show you the video of, we do a little bit of this cutting. Any question until now? Okay, let's talk about outdoor and indoor demolition. Outdoor, because the place is big, the sky is the limit. You have very big space and all that. So we can use excavators, we can use high reach, that what Mr. Low is going to share later. But when it comes to indoor, size of the equipment becomes a big issue. Okay, there are a lot of times when it comes to indoor, what do? We use human. Okay, we start using human to do the hacking. But as always, we start seeing on the net, we want to cut down on foreign workers, we want to use more technological advanced thing and things like that. So how do we curb this issue? Because you see, when it comes to hacking, there are going to be a lot of manpower usage. There are going to be reliance of foreign workers and all that. Okay, so macam mana jimat lebih daripada 20 orang manpower? How to save more than 20 manpower? Okay, this one is a very small job, but it's a very interesting job for me. Okay, we are going to demolish a strong room. Okay, demolish a strong room. Let's talk about this case. This is a jewelry store in KL. Okay, they want to upgrade their shopping mall. They want to upgrade their shop. Okay, they want to remove their strong room. Strong room is basically a room to store all their gold bars, their jewelry, benda-benda yang mahal lah. So you can imagine the structure, they are definitely not going to use brick wall. They're going to use very heavily reinforced concrete. Once there's one thing for sure, and it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very hard. So this guy, this main con, when he quoted the job, he just say, okay, never mind lah, use manpower to go and hack and don't do that lah. Then after that, when they hack a bit, they realize, shit man, tak boleh buat lah. Pasal ini, they have to hand over to the client in 3 days time. He has not sufficient time to do the work. So last minute, he called us at 10 o'clock at night and then asked us, please help, please come and do the work. So now you can see, my access is only here from the front door. Okay, from the front door. A lot of times when you see this is that kind of limitation, the choice that we have becomes very limited. The machine has to be very small and it has to be very powerful to chase that kind of schedule. So in the end, we use a robotic demolition to enter this place. Let me show you this video. So how do we control the machine? You can see this guy right here. He's basically using a remote control to control. So ini macam main PS4 lah or PS5 lah to control the equipment. So this guy, you can see that he's controlling the robot from here. So he don't need to sit on it. That's why you can see that the robot is actually shorter than the man. When the robot is shorter than the man, which means they can access to a lot of confined areas, including indoors and things like that. And you can see from the first picture, the door is only that size. The robot can enter easily. Okay, so why robotic demolition? This whole thing, we count him in 1 day. You see, this is such a small space. We definitely cannot fit 20 men inside. We can, so 20 men inside can chase the work, but they cannot fit in that much. So you need one thing, but that is very fast. So the robotic demolition was the solution to this job. Okay. Let's talk about case study 5. There's one term that I would like to introduce to you. This is called soft demolition. Okay, soft demolition. just now what we mentioned from first in shopping mall, in the jewelry store, in the factory, or remove the big beam. Okay, all these are maybe you can use the word hard demolition. You remove structures and all that. But let's talk about soft demolition. Soft demolition means, we remove the bricks, you dismantle the fit outs, okay, you remove the partition, you remove the flooring, tiles, covering, and all that. In a way, this is also in a controlled manner. Only you can do this. But we want to combine equipment together into soft demolition, because all the while soft demolition we are using men to do the work. Macam mana mau buka tiles, guna orang hack lah. Macam mana mau buka partition, guna orang buka lah. Macam mana mau hack down itu dinding, guna orang hantam lah. So we want to change a certain approach to the market. This is a very interesting case that we did in Emery Mall in KL as well. Let me show you. So this is another robot, which is a little bit smaller, but you can access to even more areas. Okay, so you can see here, we come to about hack the wall, we use robot to do the work. When it comes to removing tiles or removing mosaic or removing vinyl, what kind of flooring, we use the different equipment to scrap it out, which is going to be so much more productivity. Now I'm going to share you the last one, which I believe a lot of you may or may not heard about it. Okay, how do you remove concrete, but you want to retain the rebar? Okay, you see just now we do the cutting, the highway. The highway. We talk about removing the slab. We talk about cutting for the factory or even hacking for the strong room. Semua besi hilang down, must either rosak or cut away. Correct not? But how do we remove just the concrete while retaining the rebar? Okay, let me introduce to you. Okay, this is before a job that we're going to do. This is a 1 meter width by 1 meter thick beam. So this is a tunneling project. So what they want to do is that they want to strengthen the existing, because there's a change of design, they want to strengthen the existing beam so that it becomes strong enough to support incoming traffic. So what they have to do, they have to remove the concrete and then enhance the strengthening from the rebar they have from there. But hack tak boleh, cut tak boleh. Macam mana mau buat? So I want to introduce to you, this is ultra high pressure water jet. Okay, basically using water to hack away the concrete. Because by using water, we will not be able to damage the rebar. However, the water pressure is strong enough to remove the concrete piece by piece. Okay, I just want to give you a certain idea on how strong or how high the pressure is. You tahu cuci kereta. Okay, we have this water jet, yellow color one, cuci kereta macam tu. So that in terms of PSI, the pressure is 1000 PSI for cuci kereta. Okay, this we are looking at 30,000 psi, 30,000. In other words, the pressure that you have for washing a car, this is 30 times stronger. 30 times stronger.
30 times.
Yep.
Yep.
So you can see this rebar externally we have removed, and then we are shooting in the middle now. Okay, this is after washing. You can see that all the rebar is active. Sorry, all the concrete is removed, and then the rebar is active. So again, why hydro demolition? This is the only demolition method to retain the integrity of rebar while removing all the concrete. There will be no micro cracks. And next time, because after that, after they upgrade, they want to enhance the strength, they're going to do a new cast for concrete. It's going to have perfect bonding surface for new cast. So when they pour a new layer of concrete, it's going to stick to it very nicely. Okay, so I come to the end of my presentation. I think there's there's a few questions that was addressed to me that have a similar question. There is a similar question. I just want to put this into light. You see, what do you need to consider before the demolition takes place? I think this is very important. Just now, you know what I showcased. We talk about diamond cutting, we talk about total excavator hacking, we talk about wire cutting, we talk about hydro demolition, we talk about robotic. There are times also we have to talk about using labor to do the hacking. So what are the things to consider? What kind of work? You know, come back to the same question again. Is it a refurbishment job? Is it an upgrading job? Is it the rectification? Is it total demolition? What is the size? What is the design of the building? Or what is the size and thickness of the structure? Where is it located? Is there existing tenant? Is it heavy traffic? Is it in the city center? Or is it in the place very ulu, one building in the middle only? Is it the residential project? Is it the shopping mall? Is it a hotel? Every building has a different concern to tackle. Okay, we have to approach each job while studying the environmental factor. So what is the building made of? Concrete, how thick is the concrete? What is the reinforcement? Timing. What time can I work? Is it at night time? Is it at daytime? Is it only 2 hours work? Is it only 5 hours work? Or I am only given 1 month schedule to do the work? What is the timing are we looking at? And most importantly, how are we going to handle the debris? Bukan just cakap, oh, I potong hack saja, then leave it as it is. I need to throw away. So this is a very big concern. Sometimes we can move the machine inside, but we cannot bring out the concrete. How do we handle that? So these are the things to consider to what kind of approach to do the job. So what I can say is there is no one one solution or one method that can, wah, ini paling bagus. This one thing can do all 100 things in the world. It's impossible. Again, it's impossible. We have to choose what is the best approach for each job. Okay, and most importantly, most importantly, the reality of the case. Okay, a reality in the world. Most importantly, budget. Okay, berapa duit ada untuk project ini? If sometimes we have even very how to say very special requests to do a job at a very cheap price. Say because they have no budget. Sometimes we have to turn down the job because it doesn't make sense. So if the budget is not enough, then certain compromise has to happen. So budget actually plays a very important role. So if the client has more budget, then there are more things that can be taken care of. Environmental, existing building structure, the timing, the schedule. So these are the important things. Okay, I come to an end on what to present and all that. But you can leave any questions that you have for me below. But I'm going to address what Doctor has gathered now yesterday night. The question that has been addressed lah. Okay, This is from group 1 ah. Actually, doctor, apa group ini apa benda? What is group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ah?
Actually, we have this is my group from my class lah.
Oh,
Demolition,
okay.
building and structure demolition. We got one what we call course. The course
dia macam kelas lah, kelas
lah.
kelas A, kelas B, kelas C macam tu lah. Okay. Group 1, group 2. Okay. Can. Okay, so anyway, coming back, what is the condition when a highway needs to be demolished? Highway, I assume, concrete. You mean those traffic highway lah. I think there are many. When it comes to highway, especially live highway lah, there are many things to consider. First of all, most importantly, kereta tak boleh lepas itu loh. Traffic has to be, no cars has to be, pass through the area when we want to demolish. So by doing that, the main con or the owner has to have another alternative route so that the other traffic can pass by. Then only we can start doing the work. So again, many things to consider. I can't give a very straight answer, but generally, the one thing that is going to be in common is that no car has to be there lah. We have to have an alternative route for the car to pass by. Okay. What is the difference between deconstruction and demolition? Okay, in a way, it's very similar. It's very similar to what these two things is. Demolition, basically, if I want to put it in the very layman term, you hancur everything lah. Hancur. Okay, then buang semua benda tu. Deconstruction is also hancur, tapi in a delicate manner. They want to use back. They are. You see, when it comes to construction, there are many things that. Demolition. There are many things that may be able to salvage back. The word we use in construction term is salvage. Okay, we want to salvage. Let's say they have this equipment, or if I'm going to use a more residential job, they want to use back the door. They want to use back the tingkap. They want to use back the cabinet. So all these have to be taken down very delicately. So in other words, deconstruction, you will salvage certain things that you want. Demolition, you will basically hancur everything. Okay, so of course, when it comes to costing and all that, deconstruction is going to be much more expensive because it takes more time, it takes more effort, it's more delicate. Okay, so for number 3, to be honest, I don't really understand your question. What do you mean by steep ground? Or if the one who asked the question, you can leave in the comment box. You can maybe give more. I want to seek for clarification. What does it mean by steep ground? Okay, so all goes to group 2. What is the most effective demolition technique which provide less hassle and save at the same time? So as what I mentioned just now, we approach different job differently. Okay, some we use this technique, some we use another technology, some we use this technique. So what is the most effective? There is no one most effective method to do everything. Okay, we must approach every job differently depending on the situation and depending on the structure. Okay, what are the software related in demolition management are being used in current industry? To be honest, I'm going to be very honest in my answer. We don't use any software for now. The only thing we use is maybe AutoCAD, to see the building structure, to study a little bit on the thickness and where is the beam and all that. But generally, if I were to say for other countries, there is a demolition software, but mainly for C4 explosive. They want to study, how the debris is going to fall down and things like that. That kind of software to study and analyze. But as for me, we don't need to use any. Okay, mainly in the AutoCAD to study, what is the existing structure or be like. So number 3, is it possible to renovate certain parts of the house and demolish them if the house use prefabricated structures? Okay, this one, developer pun perlu bijak. Okay, now actually a lot of developers also they design in such way lah. If you talk about the external side of the building, okay, which means the wall is facing outside of the environment, most of the time they don't allow you to touch it. Okay, they will say, because all this IBS system, they have a certain what they call that, like a rod or link to link from bottom level to the top. So you cut off that, actually the structure is very bad already. So usually on the external side, you design in a way they don't allow you to demolish. However, for the internal one, they will give certain flexibility because they know, or sometimes you want to open up the living room, you want to open up the room and all that. So they will design it differently to allow you to have to demolish them. This one, most of the time you have to check with the designers and developer, or they will definitely allow to do such things so that you have certain flexibility for your own house. Is it true that demolish large building requires more planning than rebuilding in the very same area again? Okay, now this comes to the same consideration that we talked about just now. Let's say you are removing right in the middle of the city center. Okay, a lot of cars, a lot of people, tall buildings everywhere. To demolish that building is not going to be so easy because there's so many considerations that you have to think about. Okay, traffic, other people, apa DBKL, semua benda ini, semua perlu consider. But let's say you are in the middle of nowhere, okay, then you happen to have a large building there, the job is going to be fairly easier. So any job, whether we are building or demolition, all that, it requires a lot of planning to do the work. But how tedious is it? Depends on where is the building, what is the environmental factor. That will be the determining factor on how we're going to approach the work. Okay. Group 3. Is there any demolition work that caused a big accident in Malaysia before? In fact, there is a few lah. Let's talk about one of the biggest one. I think that happens easily 10 years ago. Okay, we have a project there is a shopping mall project. We have a shopping mall project. I think the load to support the machine was not calculated properly. So when they were doing the hacking, the whole slab fall down, and then quite a lot of foreign workers, including local workers, all pass away. So that's why.
They use the top-down method to lift the excavator on top of the building, but the excavator is actually 20 tons each unit, and then they lift up about 4 units. That's overweight already.
Correct. So Mr. Low knows very well what project is that. Everyone knows what project is that. Okay. So basically the machine was too heavy for the slab to handle. So that's why you see, again, we have to handle each project differently to do the work. Maybe at that time, let's say robot was more implemented, it may be a more suitable method to do the work because a robot is only a 2 ton, less than 2 ton weight, or maybe 3 ton. And then with sufficient propping, with sufficient support, this accident can be avoided. Okay, number 2, any license and certificate, CIDB lo. Okay, CIDB, Construction Industry Development Board. Okay, there's a what do you call that? We have to apply under the demolition license. But at the same time, let's say you want to get something even more pro. I think other countries, they have certain special certification. Like for us, control demolition, there is a cutting. There is a association called CSDA. Concrete Sawing and Drilling Association. That one is in America. So if we want to send our operator to go there, to be trained, to be certified, these are some of the things that can be done. But I believe, there are many specific sectors on what kind of certificate that we are looking at. Okay, number 4. Is demolition work bad for the environment? This question very vague. Demolition work bad for the environment. Sometimes, if that thing is not demolished, it's actually bad for the environment. If that building has been abandoned there for 10 years, 20 years, it's a sore site, nobody maintain and things like that. You leave the building there, it's actually worse. Okay, so demolition, how are you going to control? It's still going to be, okay, few things that won't run. There will be debris, there will be dust, all that. But this is how are we going to handle all these things to tactfully to maintain the environmental issues. What are examples of problems that often arise due to building demolition activities? For me, one of my biggest issue is always how to handle the debris. Okay, how are we going to bring out the debris? Usually to do the work, to cut and all that, I think there's always a solution. Either we're going to use different method and different technology to do the work. And also, I think one of the biggest hurdle that we have was also the budget from the client. They want cheap, they want nice, they want fast, but no budget. Sometimes we cannot do lah. So these are the problems that sometimes we have to face. But generally, there's always a way out lah. With enough planning, okay, with enough resources, usually we can cultivate the demolition works. Is it important having awareness in the demolition building among the community? I think it's very, very important. You see, in your cost structure, in civil engineering or what, a lot of times you learn about how to build a building. You learn the load, you learn this, you learn that, the reinforcement, the concrete grade, hardness, whatsoever. But when it comes to taking down the building, that particular part is not really sufficient. So you see, today, what I have introduced you is just a tiny portion. I introduced to you wire saw using diamond wire. I introduced to you robotic. And later, Mr. Low going to introduce to you using hydraulic breakers to do the work. There's so many different methods to approach the job. So what is again, we have to ask ourselves, what is the end result that we desire? Okay. And then we can propose. Then if the community have enough awareness of knowledge of the on demolition, then they will know what is the best method to achieve what they want. Okay, last group. What should one think about when demolishing or decontaminating buildings affected by mold? I don't understand this question. so if the one who asked this question, maybe you can post it up. You can clarify for me. Okay, what are the demolition technique that's very efficient use in Malaysia? So this is it's the same question, same answer that I give just now. Depends on what kind of result that you want. Depends on the situation. Depends on the environment factor. There is no one method that can do everything. And boleh buat semua benda. Okay. Okay. So just now I saw one question from the chat group. Is there any limit on the maximum concrete strength that limit the capability of the method you explained just now? Okay, if you talk about to support the weight of the machine, then yes. Okay, it's not so much about removing the concrete. If remove the concrete, of course, the weaker it is, then easier my job lah, betul lah. Okay, so but if you say what kind of concrete strength to support the equipment, then yes, it depends on, because each machine has their own weight. Some may be less 200 kg, 300 kg, those can access everywhere, less than 1 ton. But those, let's say, 5 ton, 10 ton, 20 ton, then there are more consideration that we have to look at. I hope this answers your questions, Andre. So any more question that you guys want to ask, you can also, show your face, don't let me feel that I'm talking alone here. Doktor, ada apa soalan?
Sangat teruja lah tengok. Saya sendiri pun tengok depan mata kan. But there's some curiosity jugalah how to take out one by one. For example, the first tahu yang kita cut tu kan, kita mau lift kan.
Yep.
We have to lift, but how macam mana kita nak do it uplift
Oh, okay.
that particular, yeah.
Okay.
Because there is no hook and so on.
Okay, wait. Let me share back. I see if I have the photo back. Okay. Okay. Okay, you look at this photo.
Okay.
Actually, from the top of the photo, we are attaching it to a manual chain hoist, 3-ton manual chain hoist, two of them. So at the top, we have a chain hoist. Chain block tower, chain block.
Okay.
So using the chain block, then we tarik, and then this whole thing out. So we cycle it with a belt lah, with a yellow belt. Then we move up. Sometimes we use tendon, okay, or more commonly known as lam, but sometimes we use belt to tarik. So yeah, in fact a lot of times cutting to me is not a problem. To remove the concrete, that is the biggest.
Yeah.
Then you can see down there when we were doing, we actually set up the prop ready so that once we cut, it doesn't just just go down. It has something at the bottom.
Temporary support, right?
Correct, temporary support.
Okay.
Where's
I got the idea.
Okay. Hold on, my mouse suddenly tak ada battery. Alamak. I can't. Can you address the question that was asked? I saw there's a chat, but I cannot tekan.
Okay. The second one.
I will help Mr. Tan to address the question just now. Dr. Andre asked. Dr. Andre asked, hi Mr. Tan, just now I'm referring to the ultra high strength concrete over 100 MPa. Can the diamond cutter or the water jet cut it?
Okay, can. Okay, yes, it can be cut, but fast or slow only. Okay, okay. I don't say that we have cut more than 100 lah, but we definitely did 90. Okay, we did 90, grade 90 before. It's definitely more difficult. But if you ask me, can or cannot, can. But higher budget, slower work. So even when it comes to diamond cutter, like this diamond, this diamond also we have a lot of types. It's not just satu jenis boleh buat semua benda. We have, when it comes to diamond technology, we have hard bond, middle bond, soft bond, very soft bond, American diamond, South Africa diamond, China diamond, many different kind of diamond. So we have to customize the right tools for the right job. So water jet to hack away 100, I never tried that before lah. The maximum that I did was 60. Also, I find it a bit difficult already. So, but can do or not can, we have to use set up certain parameters and also equipment to use more water and higher pressure to do the job. So means just now when you see you use human to shoot, right? This one cannot use human to shoot. We need to set up machine to do that.
Mr. Tan, one question. Which country is the what we call paling terkehadapan in terms of this demolition technology? Which country?
If you were to ask me, I can't really answer this question. I mean, I've seen US. I've seen US is doing it very well. US is doing very well. They are of course the paling exciting to see is those explosive lah, which we don't really see it in Malaysia. It's actually quite matured at there. But when it comes to mechanical type, I think they may be slightly better than us, but not very far ahead lah. Because now we can access to their technologies as well.
How about China?
China is also very well. Of course, they are doing. I mean, you look at how tall their building is, and in fact, they have the capacity. One thing great about China is that they have the capacity to make difficult job simple and much cheaper. That really cannot deny. It's like, wow, how do they do that at such a low cost? That is their strength. They are able to achieve that kind of productivity and with a very cheap machine. Of course,
I saw before the tall building in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, they will remove one by one at the bottom, one from the top, and then it will go down something like this. Macam terlalu advance lah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're saying. It's like the demolition method is like you can still have the top like slowly going down or
going down something.
Yeah.
That one we call it as a sinking method.
Sinking method. Oh.
Actually, the theory is like this. They use the I-beam. They holding. They make the slab into a hole, and then they use the I-beam became the new structure for the building, and then holding it from the top part, and then they start demolish the bottom part, and then they use the hydraulic jack to sinking it, to making it lower.
Oh, thank
That
you.
one is better. You can Google it.
Yeah.
This one, I need to come back to a very reality question. They have the budget. This one, you think even we can do it? Let's say even we can do it. I don't think how many is willing to pay that kind of money. And we have to take in consideration that I'm not very sure which part of Japan they do that, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be a highly dense area where there are a lot of buildings left and right. So many things to consider.
And that is the main consideration of the developer. They always consider the price only. Since you see when we do the demolition work, we are making something that is existing that became not exist. So when the developer want to pay us, they feel like, what have you done? You have done nothing,
In a way, yes.
This then became nothing. Then what have you done? Then they want to pay the money and they felt like
Correct.
So that is the main consideration. Even if you say that if there is a lot of budget, actually we can do very well, even in the environmental control, environmental friendly. Even if it's consider the method, we can do even more safety. But sometimes also need government to help to enforce the law. Then this will push them to more consider about this part lah.
Correct. Correct. So that sometimes big job, very big project, mega project, sometimes they cannot lari. The policies, the consultants, they want, cannot macam ni, I don't allow this kind of nonsense. Then the main con or the developer, in Chinese they bo pian lah, terpaksa lah, have to use that method, and then pay the money unwillingly lor. Yeah. Any other questions from other students?
Maybe Tan Shaming, can you please see the question at the Facebook? Because we have also Facebook Live in this session.
Actually, I got one question I want to ask.
Okay.
Yeah. Because just now Mr. Tan got talk about the diamond cutter and water jet cutter, right? So the diamond cutter will produce a lot of dust like that when you're doing the demolish work, right? So why cannot we use the diamond cut? When we use the diamond cutter, then we siram the tepi dia, so tak kurangkan dia punya dust. Because I see the the journal lah, it got say the water jet is more good because it produce a little dust compared to the diamond cutter.
Okay. I just now I think I share back my video. I share back my video just now. If you see closely, okay, you see I have water. So actually, during my diamond cutting process, water is basically a must. So not the intention is actually to cool down the blade, or to cool down the wire, so that we can because diamond paling takut apa? Diamond paling takut panas. Terlalu panas, the effectiveness, the lifespan, all will be reduced. So we will be using water. So you are right. While when we are using water, the dust all can be suppressed already.
Okay, understand.
You see, like water jet, all that. Okay, I mean, I give you an idea lah. What is the cost like lah? Okay, if you talk about cheapest and fastest lah, excavators, hydraulic breakers are definitely going to be much cheaper than diamond cutting. Okay, much cheaper. So I give you an idea. Excavator should be the cheapest. Second, maybe robotic. I don't know, robotic. Okay. Third will be diamond cutting. Hydro already, all right, over the roof already one.
So robotic need a lot of maintenance, right?
Yeah. You're right. The maintenance. You see, the robot that I show you just now, okay, is cost around 700,000 to 800,000. Okay, that's small robot. You ask Mr. Low, 700,000 to 800,000, how big the machine can buy already? PC 300 still got change lagi, correct? My 2-ton machine is equivalent to his 30-ton machine.
Yeah, 30 tons excavator can buy lah.
30 ton, how strong it is. We are only 2 ton. So that is that because of the equipment investment and price range, and also the productivity and the speed.
Mr. Tan, can you please touch a bit about the chemical demolition by using solvent and by using chemical? Did you have any experience?
I have. I think Lo has more experience in this area. For stone, do you do that?
Not really experienced on it lah, but just heard my friend. My friends are doing this lah, and that actually they using the chemical there's 2 types of use lah, because some is they dig a hole, they use a boring machine and dig a hole, and then they put the chemical inside, and then they wait the chemical until they dry or chemical reaction, and then they just like burst lah, expand, and then it push the rock into split it up lah. This one is they use on rock. They also use it on the building. Sometimes they also do the same things lah. They correct a lubang, and then they put the chemical inside, and then they wait for 2-3 days.
One day can leave. One day good enough. One day good enough. So basically, the idea of the chemical is actually to expand, and then crack the rock, and then make your hacking or removing much more easier, because you loosen the integrity really. Okay.
It might be the most silent tools.
It's just I think I would say this is more like something to assist you in the work, not so much as the main thing to remove. Which means it helps to speed up the job, not so much of I use this and got it already, my job finished. It doesn't work that way.
Even you use the chemical to use it on the rock, you still need the breaker to hack it.
Yep.
It just helps take the rock, and then you still need the breaker to hack it. But sometimes the rock is too hard, then you can't just use the excavator, the brute force, and keep hacking it, because it's not effective. So sometimes they go there, lubang, and then they put the chemical inside. Because some place there is a restriction, you cannot use boom. So they use the chemical as a alternative to replace the boom lah. Yeah, but you still need the excavator to hack. You still need to excavate it out, and even if you do the demolition work, you also do the same things. It just make it split, and then you still need hammer to hack it or anything like this lah.
Yep.
Just like Mr. Tan said, it's just assist.
Yep.
Not the main job.
Yep.
Okay, Tan, any other questions that you have for me?
So far, I see the Facebook doesn't have any questions.
Okay.
The Zoom meeting also don't have any question in the chat box.
Okay, understand. Can. Okay, I think we end it here for my session. Then we will pass it to Mr. Loh.
Yeah,
thank
you, Mr. Stan.
Thank you, Stan.
Thank you.
Right, for your fruitful sharing, Mr. Tan. Okay, Mr. Loh, can you please proceed to the next session?
Sure. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Tan, for your sharing, and I really appreciate this event here because I also learned a lot from Mr. Tan. So basically, Mr. Tan is more focused on the control demolition, and I'm more focused on the total demolition. Okay, so just let me introduce myself a bit first. I'm Mr. Loh from Great Wall Civil Engineering. Well, Great Wall Civil Engineering is quite an old company, already operate 30 years, and then we start focus on demolition work since 1993. So it's quite a history, and I'm not sure whether KL got or not that time because we invest in a concrete crusher, just like the dinosaur one, okay, to crush the concrete. What heard from the Sunway heavy machine department said that we are the first who invest in story. Okay, and after that we keep on upgrading, and then until now we have the high reach excavator to do the high rise demolition. So I have a video for you guys, so maybe that is I pre-record it at the site, so maybe our technical team, can you help me to share it?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Loh. Without further ado, let's begin the section with virtual site visit. Our technical team, please take action. Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning to the lecturer and a student from University of Tun Hussein, Malaysia. Well, thank you for inviting me as a speaker for your International Construction Industry Week 2021. So, let me introduce myself. I am Mr. Loh from Great Wall Civil Engineering. Well, we are mainly involved in the demolition industry. So, this time I'm invited to participate as a speaker to introduce about demolition work. Okay, so currently we are having a project running in Malaysia, Penang. So this is the project name. Well, it's actually it's a project that JKR take in charge, and then we are appointed as a subcontractor for the demolition work. So because due to this COVID-19 pandemic, I don't think it's possible to arrange a site visit for the students. So I will take in charge on it, and then I will take a video record for you to let you know that how the demolition work is going on. Okay, so let's follow me, go inside the site. So okay guys, so this is the building that we are going to be demolished. Well, this is just a part of it. Actually, there's still another side. There's but we already demolished it. Then later I will show you. Okay. So basically, this case is like this. Okay, this building is construct since 1940. So it's already about 80 years ago. Yeah. So this building is actually constructed during the World War II. Yeah, during the World War II. It's constructed by I think it's a British built this building for as a hospital. So this is now this hospital Bersalin already shut down because they found out that the structure is not stable. It's not suitable to continue to use it anymore. So now they are asking us to demolish, tear down all the building, and then they will rebuild another more advanced and better hospital Bersalin. So this project is under JKR, is built for KKM. Yeah, basically the case is like this. So I will show you the procedure, how we are going to do the demolition work. So as you guys saw just now, the building is actually 3 level, but the height is almost similar to the 5 level height, because this is a hospital, so the ceiling height is about 15 feet. So it's 4.5 meter height. So if it is 3 level, so which means it's 13 and 13.5 meter height, and then including the lift. Okay, so the height is approximately 15 meter. So when this kind of building, we cannot use a normal excavator to demolish it, so we have to use the high reach excavator to demolish the building. Well, in this case, it's actually the top-down method, which leaving the excavator on top of the building, is no more suitable because the structure is unstable already. So we use the high reach demolition method. So as you can see in the video, this big guy, okay, is our machine that is about 60 tons. The machine is able to reach 30 meter height to tear down the building. So now the building is just 50 meter, so it's a very easy task for it to tear down the building. So I will go nearer to let you see the whole picture of this machine. So this is our high reach demolition excavator. Well, as you can see, this is the concrete crusher. Well, we call it as a primary concrete crusher. So the step is they use this concrete crusher to crush the whole building structure, and then when they tear down, then another excavator will go and pick it out to remove it to another side, and then another excavator with a secondary concrete crusher will. So this is our high reach demolition excavator. Well, as you can see, this is the concrete crusher. Well, we call it as a primary concrete crusher. So the step is they use this concrete crusher to crush the whole building structure, and then when they tear down, then another excavator will go and pick it out to remove it to another side, and then another excavator with a secondary concrete crusher will crush the structure and remove the rebar and the concrete. Well, the rebar we will salvage it, and the concrete we will recycle on the side and then turn it into crusher run. And later I will show you how the progress will go on. So this is we come back to this machine. But this machine is actually we import from the UK because Malaysia is not available because Malaysia didn't, we can't find any machine like this in Malaysia, so we purposely import from UK. So as you can see, this machine is very big, okay. And here is a very important things I have to mention, because this machine is original, it's built by a manufacturer, but somehow there is outside, there is some of the machine they are modified locally, which means the safety equipment is not complete. Okay, so as you can see, here got many hydraulic hose, right? This is a safety valve. Okay, so what is the function of it? Which means whenever the hose is burst, because of this safety valve is locking it, so whenever the hydraulic hose is burst, the long arm like this, it won't fall down. So some of the demolition contractor, they buy a normal excavator and then they modify themselves and turn it into a long arm excavator. Is not a good practice. So but Malaysia didn't have a law to enforce on this part yet. So it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because I know there is a case before. They are using a normal excavator and then they locally modify it, and then that cause accident. Okay, so that's why we purposely import it from a UK. Even the price is very high, it's very expensive, but still we do that. Well, as you can see, from at the back of the excavator of the big guy here, okay, so there's another excavator here. Well, actually this excavator have its own purpose, have its own job. Well, it's actually, when you, as you can see, this excavator is with a normal bucket, also with another thumb here. Well, what is the purpose for using this equipment? Well, actually is the thumb is actually you can move. Okay, so what they are doing is they will grab the concrete or the structure at the back there, okay, and then make classification. So it will classify it whether it is concrete waste or it is a wood waste. So for this hospital, is the structure is quite special, quite rare in Malaysia, because it is built by during the 1940. So it's built by British Malaya government. At that time, I think they are using a very good materials to build this building. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of I-beam here, but the I-beam is also concreted. But actually, these all items is the concrete. Is a column of the structure, column and a beam of the structure. So the whole structure they are using the I-beam, and then they concrete it to protect it, to prevent it from rust. Okay, so when we do this demolition work, it's quite difficult because the structure is so hard. The I-beam is so strong, and actually this I-beam is quite thick. Okay, what we measure, the result is 21 mm, or almost 1 inch the thickness. So as you can see, this I-beam is so long, so it's not easy to put inside our dustbin to take it for salvage. So we have another equipment to cut it. Then later I will show you. Well, this is another excavator here. Well, this excavator is actually attached with a secondary hydraulic crusher. So sometimes we call it as a dinosaur because the attachment seems really like a T-Rex. So what is the purpose of this unit? It's actually using it to crush the concrete and then salvage all the metal. But we take the metal to recycle, and all the debris we will also use it. We will also recycle it. So after crush it, we will make it into a metal ball. So this is a product after the secondary crusher crush it, and then we will put it into the our dustbin. Then we will take it to salvage. Well, this is another excavator here. Well, it's actually attached with a hydraulic shear. What is the purpose for this hydraulic shear? It's actually used to cut the I-beam. So these all I-beams have been cut into lesser than 20 feet, lesser than 6 meters, so that they can actually put into the dustbin, the Roro from the dustbin from the Loro Lorry. Okay guys, so I think you guys actually must have some question to ask. How we are going to do the dust controlling? Okay, but basically dust controlling is we use the water to spray, but is there any more effective way to do that? Well, actually it is possible. Well, as you can see the very big fan here, right? Okay. I will move around. and let you see it. So you some question to ask, okay? How we are going to do the dust controlling? Well, this is actually this item, okay? This item is we call it as an anti-dust cannon. Well, it can we use a pressure pump to pump it into the mist, okay? The water turn into mist, and then there's a big fan to blow it and go into the site. So because last time we are using a water jet, but we realized that there is some problem. Some type of water jet is very water consuming, and some type of water jet is we have to go nearer to put the water. So the distance is very short. So we realized that that is actually very dangerous when we are doing a high reach demolition work. So what we do is we invest in this dust cannon, okay? But I don't think Malaysia available. This item, I don't think that there's any company is selling it. So we are actually custom made it, okay? So I think this is made in Malaysia anti-dust cannon, serial number 0001. So this is what I always joke with my clients. Okay, so this is a genset, okay, the genset here, okay, to supply the current to the dust cannon, and then this is the water tank. So we put it on the truck, on the lorry, so we can easily move it to the place that we want to control the dust. So later we will put, I will add on a video to show you when we doing the demolition work, how it's going to support us. Okay, well, it's quite effective. Well, we cannot say that demolition work can 100% control all the dust. That is bullshit. Okay, that is bullshit. Well, we are using this dust cannon. Actually, it is successfully controlled, reduced down 70% and even up to 80% the dust. So it's very effective, and the throw range is about 25 meters. About 25 meters, but depends on the wind. If the day is very windy, then the wind is opposite from our dust cannon, then the distance will be shortened. But if we throw out accordingly to the same direction with the wind, then it will go up to 40 meters. So guys, this is a Ro-Ro lorry. Okay, this is a heavy duty 24 tons Ro-Ro lorry. Now, and at the back there's a dustbin. So when we put it, all the waste, all the metal, then it will hook up, and then it will bring it to the place it should go. So for example, like the metal, we can go to the salvage the metal, the scrap metal, and then for the waste, then we will, depends on the waste, if wood waste or green waste, we will recycle it at the Patumau. There's another government set up a recycling plant for green waste and the wood waste to recycle it, and another for some of the general waste that is unrecyclable, then we will take it to the Pulau Burong, and then we will throw it for the back for the landfill. Okay guys, this is a mobile crusher. Well, you can see this equipment. Oh, okay, so what is the purpose for this machine? Well, this machine is actually used for recycle this kind of debris. Okay, we will use the excavator to loading this and feed it into the feeder. Okay, then there's a center, there's a crushing unit. Okay, crushing unit is here, and then it will crush it. It will flow into the crushing unit, and then it will crush it, and then the conveyor belt will pull it out, and then it will become a crusher run. Crusher run size is below 50 mm. So this there's another conveyor belt here. Okay, this item is actually a magnet separator. So when the concrete debris, there's some of the rebar inside. So we will put it inside, and then we crush it, recycle it, and then when it come out, the magnet will separate it. Okay, later I will show you another video how it progress. Okay guys, so after we recycle all the debris and then turn it into crusher run, we will put it back on the backfill and make it level on this side. So after we level it and then make the crusher run for one layer, and then the pounding machine can move in and do their pounding work. So I think this is my part. I already finished my demolition part. So thank you for listening me. So guys, that's all for my presentation. Well, thank you for inviting me to participate in this talk. Well, appreciate that. Well, this is Mr. Low speaking here from Great Wall Civil Engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Low, Fong. It was very exciting. Yeah, so many things that we have learned here. First, regarding the I-beam cutter, right? Yeah, quite interesting, essentially. And also regarding the anti-dust cannon, that one is you just what we call custom it, right? Customized product, right? Very interesting.
Actually, available in a foreign country, but Malaysia also have, but the size is too small not suitable for heavy duty job So we purposely go to custom make another one so that to help us to control the dust But actually JKI also very happy with that. Yes, they also
because it will have air pollution. Am I right? Yeah, it will cause air pollution. Will disturb the nearby neighborhood building.
Yeah.
And the mobile crusher mobile unit. Wow. So after we got the result, and then we can backfill again.
Yeah.
To make, and my
So
curiosity.
We use this kind of method actually reduce down many pollution, many problems. For example, when we crush it and then we recycle it on site and then we use back on site, which means we don't need to lorry to cut it out away.
Yes.
So outside don't have you don't need to spare many people to wash the
cut
out of the site.
Cut off the cost also. Lower down the cost.
And then we also helping the environmental, which we are not dumping it on the landfill or anything. We just reuse back. So we do this recycle. Actually, we are able to reduce down up to 80% of demolition rate. Yeah,
that's a very good step. It seems like Japan country, they always do the recycling and so on.
Yeah.
And
so we also have a few projects before, which is cooperate with Japanese contractors. So when they saw that we are using this kind of step, this kind of technology, they also very satisfied with our method and also satisfied with our performance also lah. Yeah, because I have a project this year also early of this year lah. It's at Kelantan. So when we demolish it and then we use this kind of shear, that one is demolish the factory lah. The factory. So we use this kind of shear, hydraulic shear. So we don't need to manual worker to go to open up the zinc or anything. So we just use a shear, and then the performance is the outcome is very satisfied lah. They are very satisfied for our outcome. And then we also do this kind of demolition, and then you recycle almost 80% of the waste. We will recycle it. So when they saw our step, the method, but they quite shocked, surprised, because we are only 9 employees, including me lah. 9 employees to handle the 2.5 hectare.
Yeah, the biggest area.
2.5 hectare built up of the factory. And then we finish it. Their target time is 4 months for us, but we finish it within 3.5 months. So we have few 2 weeks ahead of their budget, of their estimation lah. So they are quite surprised. Wow, use so few people, few manpower, but you can handle it, and then you submit back the site for us, and then even faster than their expectation. So they are very, very happy.
Very satisfied, happy. Yeah. And it was come in my mind. What is the consideration regarding the foundation? Do we need to demolish the foundation, or how do you handle it? Can you please?
We still need to remove the foundation, because if we didn't remove the foundation, which means if they can't build a new building on it lah, because when they want the piling, then all the pipe, all the we call it ground beam, all the slabs, they can't do anything. So we have to remove it, everything so lah. So only the existing piles inside the land will be another challenging part lah. But normally we will remarking it again. Where is the power point? Where is the last time building power point? And then we try to move the new structure, the piling. When we want to do piling, then we try to move it.
I got.
Then another method, if if the old PowerPoint is still on that point, you are the new building, you also you want to use back this point, then there is no way to do that. Then they need another machine for the power removal machine. But that one is another expert lah. We are not expert on this, but I know that actually some company is doing this, but that is very costly. Just like Mr. Tan always mentioned, that depends on your budget lah.
Yeah.
So if want to remove the parquet, we normally will use the excavator with breaker to hack it low. But for this project, because we are still in the hospital area, so we use silence type hydraulic breaker. Yeah, to hack it. I think is the noise is still controlling below 90 dB lah.
90
if the
decibel.
distance. So still considered as acceptable lah. But even surely there is some noise lah. But we try to control it.
And my question is there have any restriction to remove debris or steel from the government? For example, the company should have to move in the recycle that mentioned just now, or can we go to another place to remove it?
Currently, the city council is still setting up the rules lah, because now the old dumping site they're planning to shut down, and then they are last time the dumping site is still nearer to us lah, still in Penang Island, but now they are moving to the mainland. So even our waste in the Penang Island, we also need to move it to the mainland. So the distance is very far, very far.
Very far.
I think the lorry go to the mainland and then come back. I think they need about 100 kilo. Very far, and then need to go to the bridge, and then the bridge also got charges. Then the costing is very high for now. And but government have some come up some solution also lah. They set up a plant at the Batu Mau that is recycle the green waste and the wood waste. So they recycle it and make it into chipboard, I think. But this is just a process. They shredding it and then they will move it into the factory. So far it's like this, but some material that is unable to recycle, we still need to send it to the mainland for the landfill. So demolition work is always generating waste. So what we can do is we try to separate it, try to use back it. If anything, sometimes when we demolish the house, sometimes we demolish the bungalow and anything, the very rich people, their furniture a bit old style, then they will just remove it. They don't want it. Then sometimes we will just donate it lah. Donate it maybe to the anak yatim, rumah anak yatim, or maybe school or kindergarten or any place lah, or the non-NGO. So we will try to find out whether they need that items or not, then we will donate it. And then for those already not good in condition, then we have no choice lah. We just send it to the landfill. We also try to recycle up to 80%. So still, this method is we also proposed to the government before, but they still need some time to fit us in, whether see how to assist us to implement, to encourage the whole industry to do that lah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fong. And Tan Xiaming, is there have any question, or we would have the audience to ask the question?
So far in the chat box, it doesn't have any questions. In Facebook also doesn't have any questions. But I got one question. Want to ask Mr. Low. what do the challenge that you face during this demolish on the site on this project? Do you feel any challenge?
Yeah, sure. Actually, we normally the procedure is like this lah. We before we tender, then we will have a site visit and see to observe which part we are consider as a very challenging, very critical. So just like Mr. Tan just mentioned, if the building you want to demolish it is located in a very middle of the city center, then there will be a lot of problem like dust controlling and depends on the structure, because some of the structure is very funny one. The building and the building work. What I have a project before is the building and the building, two buildings. The distance is only lesser than 3 meters.
Wow.
Both are high rise. You know, one is a 5-level hotel. It's an old hotel, and another one is a old cinema. Old cinema, but the old cinema is actually 2 level, but the height is almost 3 level lah. As you know lah, the ceiling height is higher. So and then some more, that one is an old cinema, and the structure they already demolished half, but they remain the half. I don't know what is the purpose for the previous owner lah. What they are doing, I also don't know. So only the half is remaining. Maybe they are afraid to demolish it because of the another half is very very close to the another hotel building. So when we saw this kind of project, we headache. Only 2-point-something meter, you know. So we make many protection work, and then we use the excavator to slowly demolish it, control it, and then pull it down. Because that kind of structure, we can't, we already cannot use the manual style, or we will make it very costly lah. And then the best way is still use the excavator to remove it in that case. So there is depends on so every demolition work there is still have a challenging part lah. Unless the building just like the hospital. Okay, the building is very independent one. Surrounding there's a huge distance to another building. So that is a very simple. Even the project seems like very big, very difficult, but for us it's like very safety. Just only the building that is very close to the another building, that will be challenging lah. And then another case before, we also have it. Actually, the factory is operating. Okay, the factory is operating, but the factory want us to demolish this part. This part, the factory machine still operating. Then we want to demolish this part. But then how to do that? So we still need to isolate the structure, cut all, and then manually hack it, and then the rebar we need to cut it or sikat or anything lah. Then after that, isolate the structure, then we need to demolish that part lah. That part is 3 level, but the height is almost 4 level. So just a very small part, the staircase, they don't want to demolish the staircase because they want to demolish a line and then they want to expand it. So so most of the time different case we have a different challenging part lah. For this hospital, I think the main challenging part is the I-beam is too solid lah. The I-beam is too solid. The thickness is almost 1 inch, from 21 mm. It is very, very thick. Yeah, even the hydraulic shear want to cut it also have a little bit difficult lah. That's why you see we move a bit slower. So if the normal I-beam, we just one shot, 5 seconds, settle.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Low. Got one question shown in the chat box from Mastura Heron. He said that, "Hi, Mr. Low. What is your opinion on demolishing old historical building? Did you consider its aesthetical value before demolishing?
Yeah. Actually, we always felt like felt guilty also, when you want to demolish.
Sentimental value lah is there.
What we can do, actually that hospital is also the place that I born, also the place that my father born.
Oh,
Yeah, that is a
so we got sentimental value, right? To demolish.
yeah. But still we need to demolish it because the hospital already shut down for 3 or 4 years, and then because the main problem is the concrete slab. The concrete slab is not good already. The column and the beam is still okay because they are using only the slab is not stable already, really soft. So when we demolish it, like just use the excavator to pull it, then the whole slab already collapsed. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah. Not
Dangerous.
happy to see it already. We are not demolishing this historical building is 80 years. Some of the historical building we demolish is more than 100 years. So sometimes we also felt guilty, and then sometimes we just keep a part that is memorable parts. For this the IBIN there is the company shop inside. They are made by, it's an Australia company. Yeah, the IBIN is supplied from Australia, so we just cut it into a piece and then we just keep it and then use as a memory lah. Yeah. But then because if you want to move on, then you have to tear down all the parts and then build the future lah.
Does there have any question, Pan?
That's it. There's no question.
That's it, Okay, one last question from me, Mr. Loh.
Yeah, sure.
Is there have any mechanical demolition tools in this site rather than hydraulic crusher, hydraulic breaker, and also hydraulic to demolish all the building? So you just only use a hydraulic breaker and crusher. Only two?
Okay,
enough? Is it enough?
We use the primary crusher lah. The primary crusher looks like a big scissors lah.
Scissors.
Big scissors, but the big scissors cannot help you to pick out all the rebar. So we need another dinosaur design one. That one is a secondary crusher, and then we just pick all the rebar inside, crush it and then recycle it lah. So actually there is quite a lot of attachment for the excavator lah. This is just two lah, and then some of them are using sorting grabber, but we currently don't have it yet. And then we are using the excavator with a thumb. Okay, just now I mentioned it, and then because it's more easier for us to do the job, right? We can excavate and then some of the concrete we can just grab it. Sometimes we grab the packet, the whole packet, we just grab it out and then put it in another side. Then we'll do the recycle work. Yeah, and then as a breaker, yeah, this kind of things lah. Many types of attachment also lah. Yeah, many types of attachment also. Some of the attachment is actually using to cut the tree or cut the waste. But that one don't use it lah. Because we are more focused on demolition.
Yeah. And now we are approaching to 12 o'clock, Mr. Loh. And for your information, all participants, this is the first ever site visit, a virtual site visit done with us, and this is the most what we call pioneer, if I'm not mistaken, in iCIW So hopefully iCIW, hopefully this is we can bring, and then we can do for the next event with Mr. Low. Maybe another side, maybe a new knowledge, maybe. So I hope that we will never end only at this session, Mr. Low. Okay, Mr. Low?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
So I would like to thanks to all participants for your time and commitment throughout this talk. And not to be forgotten to our speaker, million thanks to for spending your precious time with us. Although during the MCO semua company kan mau terus jam kan, banyak kerja, memang banyak kerja. And I hope this valuable relationship will never end, as we can keep on the knowledge transfer program from time to time. And also I would like to thanks to all members in Department of Civil Engineering, JTKA, and Faculty of Engineering Technology, FTK, and also my University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. Is there have any sepatah dua kata, last word from Mr. Loh?
Yeah, I don't think anything. Just thank you for invitation because I also enjoyed the sharing here. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Loh. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Tan Shaming.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please
Thank you
proceed
to
to the
our
next session. Yeah.
thank you to our moderator and our honorable speakers for sharing the great knowledge. All right, we have come to the end of our sharing section. Once again, we would like to express our gratitude to Mr. Guan and Mr. Fong for joining us today and providing all participants with such great input regarding the demolition construction industry. Also, we would like to thank the participants for turning in to our talk. We hope to see you all in the next event conducted by iCIW at FTK 2021.